Thanksgiving is family only, my mom texted. Find somewhere else to eat. I sat in my office window, watching them walk into Bella's, our old restaurant, our old tradition, without me. But this year, I wasn't going to swallow the silence. I picked up the phone, called the manager, and said 6 words that changed everything. Cancel the Thompson reservation. Right now. 20 minutes later, my mom called, her voice sharp with panic. Why won't they seat us? My name is Mara Thompson. I'm 27 years old. And on Thanksgiving morning, I learned that my family no longer counted me as family. The text was short, cold, precise. Thanksgiving is family only. Find somewhere else to eat. I read it twice. 3 times. Each word stabbed like a fork scraping bone. Family only. I guess I was now something else. I sat in my office, downtown, on the 3rd floor of a building with glass walls. The city smelled of roasted chestnuts and smoke. Somewhere below, bells were ringing, cars honking, lives moving. But inside me, stillness. I stared at the crooked paper turkey taped to my office door. A sad decoration for a sad truth. The truth that tonight, the Thompsons would sit at a table without me. I knew where they were going. Bella's. Our restaurant. The one I used to call every year to book the table. The one where laughter used to hurt my ears but also fill my chest. I leaned forward, pressing my forehead against the cold glass of my window. And then there they were. My family. Dad's gray coat. Mom's camel-colored one. Too perfect. Too polished. My sister, Emily, laughing like nothing was broken. They walked in a little circle of light, arm in arm, scarves blowing in the November wind. Not once did they look up. Not once did they wonder if I was watching. Not once did they care. Something inside me cracked. But with the crack came a thought. Sharp, clear, defiant. If they could erase me, I could erase their comfort. I grabbed my phone. Scrolled. Found the number. Bella's restaurant. It rang. And then I heard it. Marco, the manager. His voice still warm, familiar. Mara? Long time. Yes, I whispered. Long time. For a second, my throat closed. Should I? Should I really? But then I saw them again through the glass. Mom tucking her hair behind her ear like she always does before ordering wine. Emily pulling out her phone to take pictures for Instagram. Dad checking his watch as if his time mattered more than mine. And I remembered last Thanksgiving. How they set 4 plates. Not 5. Yes, I said firmly. Do me a favor. Cancel the Thompson reservation. A long pause. Plates clinked in the background. Music floated and then fell. Are you sure? Marco asked carefully. I swallowed. I'm sure. Click. Decision made. A door shut in my chest. And another one opened. 20 minutes later, my phone rang. Unknown caller. But I knew. I let it ring 3 times. Then I picked up. Mara. Mom's voice was sharp, furious. Why won't they seat us? What did you do? I looked out the window again, at the strangers carrying pies for families that wanted them. I let her words burn. Then I smiled. Mom, I said softly. You told me family only. I'm just making sure you stick to your own rule. And that's when her silence told me. This war had just begun. Mom's silence stretched across the line. Heavy. Cold. Sharp enough to cut through my resolve. Finally she spoke. You're being childish, Mara. Do you know how humiliating this is? They asked us to leave. Do you understand what that means? People are watching. Her words were dipped in venom. But behind them I caught it. Fear. Humiliation was poison to my mother. The perfect Thompson image cracking in public? Unforgivable. I leaned back in my chair, letting her words echo. Childish? No. This wasn't childish. This was a taste of what they had fed me for years. You told me to find somewhere else to eat, I replied. My voice steady. Almost too calm. And I did. I found your table empty. She inhaled sharply. Mara, undo this. Call them back. Fix it. Fix it. That's what I was always supposed to do. Fix Emily's messes. Fix Dad's accounts when he forgot bills. Fix Mom's moods when she wanted someone to scream at. Always the fixer. Never the chosen. I let silence hang this time. Deliberate. Calculated. You think you're making a point, she snapped. But all you're doing is proving why we didn't invite you. You ruin things. The words pierced, but not like before. Now they fueled me. Because the old Mara would have broken. But tonight, I wasn't her. Enjoy your evening, Mom, I said, my voice low, final. Find another restaurant. Or don't. And then I hung up. The phone felt hot in my hand, as if it had absorbed every ounce of her rage. I set it down. Exhaled. For the first time in years, the air felt breathable. I stood by the window again. Below I watched them. Dad pacing outside Bella's, muttering into his phone. Emily scrolling furiously, probably texting her friends about the disaster. Mom still stiff, her lips thin, her pride cracking. It was a picture I wanted to frame forever. The untouchable Thompsons, locked out. But even as satisfaction warmed my chest, something darker tugged at me. A question. What now? I had flipped the first domino. But what would fall next? A notification buzzed on my phone. Emily. Of course. Her text came in all caps. What did you do? You're insane. You've ruined Thanksgiving. I stared at the screen. Ruin Thanksgiving? No. I had redefined it. I typed back. Thanksgiving is family only. Remember? 3 dots blinked. Then vanished. No reply. I smiled bitterly. Coward. But then, another buzz. This time, not Emily. Not Mom. Dad. Meet me. Nah. Alone. The words glowed like a challenge. Like a trap. Alone? He'd never said that before. Not once in 27 years had my father asked to meet me privately. I was always part of the background. An accessory. Never the point. And now, he wanted me alone. Why? My pulse kicked. Was it anger? Pity? A secret? I grabbed my coat, my keys, and glanced once more at Bella's. Their silhouettes stood out in the cold night air, fractured and small without their reservation. For once, they looked like outsiders. For once, I held the power. But as I stepped out into the wind, one thought echoed louder than all the rest. Whatever Dad wanted to tell me could change everything. The city air was sharp, slicing through my coat as I walked toward the meeting spot. Dad's text had been brief, but the weight of it pressed against my chest. Alone. Nah. He was waiting in the alley behind Bella's, hands shoved into his pockets, face half in shadow, half in the glow of a neon sign. When I approached, he didn't look at me right away. Just exhaled a long, tired breath. Mara, he said finally. Not cold. Not cruel. But not warm either. I stopped a few feet away. You wanted to meet. He nodded. Looked down at his shoes. Then up at me. And in that moment, I saw something I had never seen before. Guilt. Do you know why your mother didn't invite you tonight? He asked quietly. The words hit me like ice water. Because she doesn't love me? I snapped. It came out harsher than I planned. He winced. No. Because she's scared. I frowned. Scared of me? Please. He stepped closer. Shadows stretched across his face like broken glass. She knows the truth is coming out. And she doesn't want you at the table when it does. What truth? He hesitated. Jaw clenched. Hands trembling slightly. About the inheritance. My stomach twisted. Inheritance? From who? His eyes locked on mine. Your grandmother. She left everything to you. Not Emily. Not your mom. You. The world tilted. I blinked hard, searching his face for a lie. But there was no lie there. Only fear. Only shame. She left you the estate, Mara. The money. The shares. Everything. Your mother found out last week. My breath caught. Suddenly, it all made sense. The exclusion. The cold text. The desperation to keep me away. They think if you're not at the table, Dad continued, voice low, they can rewrite the story. Pretend you don't exist. Pretend it's theirs. Anger surged through me, burning hotter than the November wind. So this was it. This was the reason I was the outcast. Not because I ruined things, but because I had something they wanted. Dad looked down again, ashamed. I can't protect you from her, he whispered. But you needed to know. I stepped back, my pulse thundering. The truth wasn't just a crack in the family glass. It was a shatter. And now, I wasn't just the outsider. I was the heir. The word heir kept pounding in my head. Over and over. Louder than the wind. Me. Not Emily. Not Mom. Me. I stared at Dad, my throat dry. You knew, I whispered. His silence was the only answer I needed. The years of exclusion. The empty chairs. The mocking smiles. They weren't about me being unwanted. They were about me being dangerous. Because I held the one thing they couldn't control. I turned away, my reflection caught in Bella's dark glass. For once, I didn't see the forgotten daughter. I saw something sharper. Something they had underestimated. A storm. If Mom thought canceling a dinner was humiliation, what would happen when the world saw the truth? I slipped my phone from my pocket, opened my email drafts, and there it was. The document Grandma's lawyer had sent me last month. The one I hadn't dared open fully. Until now. I clicked. Scrolled. Read. Her estate. Her accounts. Her shares in the company Mom paraded as her achievement. All mine. I could almost hear Mom's voice. You ruin everything. No, I thought. I'm about to rewrite everything. I looked at Dad one last time. You had your chance to protect me. You chose her. Then I walked away. Each step louder than her rejection. Each breath sharper than her words. And in my chest, a plan began to take shape. Not just revenge. Restoration. If family was only defined by power and bloodlines, then tonight, I would show them who truly carried both. And they wouldn't see it coming. The night air bit at my cheeks as I walked. Each step echoed with purpose. For the first time, I wasn't running from them. I was walking toward something bigger. I pulled out my phone again. Scrolled through contacts. Stopped on a name I had almost forgotten. Mr. Harlan. Grandma's attorney. I dialed. He answered on the second ring. Mara? Do you know what time it is? Yes, I said quickly. And I know what I want. I'm ready. He hesitated. You've read the documents? Every word. Silence stretched. Then. So, what's your move? I glanced back at Bella's, at the blurred outline of my family still arguing with the hostess. My move. I whispered. Make it public. I heard his chair creak. You mean tonight? Tonight. He exhaled. You sound like your grandmother. A flicker of warmth surged in me. Grandma. My only real ally, even in death. Draft the announcement, I said. Release it to the press. Full disclosure. The inheritance. The shares. The estate. Attach my name to every word. Are you certain? Harlan pressed. This will destroy your mother's standing. I smiled coldly. That's the point. I hung up before doubt could creep in. My heart pounded, but it wasn't fear anymore. It was adrenaline. It was clarity. Mom wanted me invisible. Now, she would choke on my name. I imagined tomorrow's headlines. Thompson heiress revealed. Estate goes to estranged daughter. Every friend, every colleague, every board member who ever bowed to her charm, would now know she had no power left. Buzz. A new text. From Emily. What did you do? Mom is losing it. I typed back slowly. Check tomorrow's paper. Then I slipped my phone into my pocket and looked up at the night sky. For once, the stars didn't feel distant. They felt like they were watching. And in that moment I knew. This wasn't just revenge. This was justice. The next morning, the world woke up with my name on its lips. Thompson heiress announced. Inheritance to estranged daughter. The headline burned across every business site, every local paper, every feed. My inbox flooded. Texts. Calls. Notifications. But the best moment came when I saw the live footage. Reporters standing outside Bella's. Microphones pointed at my mother. Dad beside her, pale. Emily hiding behind sunglasses. Mrs. Thompson, is it true? Why didn't you mention another heir? Did your mother-in-law bypass you for your daughter? Mom's lips curled in that familiar, practiced smile. The one she used when cornered. It's all a misunderstanding, she said smoothly. Family matters should remain private. But her eyes. They flickered. Cracked. The world was watching, and she couldn't control the frame. I sat in my office, sipping coffee. For once, the bitterness tasted sweet. Then, my phone rang. I let it buzz. Once. Twice. 3 times. Finally, I answered. Mara. Her voice was low, almost shaking. Come home. Now. I smirked. You mean come to my home? A sharp inhale. You don't understand what you've done. You've ruined us. No, Mom, I whispered. I revealed you. There's a difference. Silence stretched. Then, dinner. Tonight. Face to face. I almost laughed. The irony. Now I was suddenly invited. Fine, I said. Tonight. The Thompson dining room glowed with golden chandeliers. The same table where I had been erased countless times now waited. And for the first time, I walked in as the one holding the cards. Mom sat at the head, her smile painted but cracking at the edges. Emily scrolled nervously on her phone. Dad avoided my eyes. Mara, Mom said, voice dripping honey. Let's be reasonable. I sat. Come. Silent. You don't want this pressure, she continued. Running an estate. Handling shares. It's too much for you. I leaned forward, meeting her gaze. Funny. You thought I wasn't even worth a chair. Now you're worried about my workload. Her mask slipped for just a second. Anger. Desperation. You'll regret this, she spat. Family only survives when united. I smiled. Then maybe this family won't survive. The chandelier light shimmered in her eyes. For the first time, my mother looked small. And for the first time, I felt tall. The air around the table was thick. Every clink of silverware echoed like thunder. Every glance was a weapon. My mother sat at the head, posture rigid, her smile thin as glass. Emily scrolled endlessly, refusing to look up. Dad sipped water, but his hands trembled against the glass. And me? I was calm, colder than the November wind outside. Mom finally broke the silence. Mara, listen to me. We can fix this. I leaned back in my chair. Fix it? You mean bury it? Like you buried me. Her smile cracked. You don't know what you're doing. The estate, the shares, those are responsibilities, not trophies. You'll be overwhelmed. I tilted my head. Then why did Grandma choose me? Her eyes darkened. That question cut deeper than any insult. Because we both knew the truth. Grandma saw me. The real me. The one they tried to erase. Because she pitied you, Mom spat. You were weak. Alone. She felt sorry. I leaned forward, voice razor sharp. No. She chose me because she knew I wouldn't let this family rot under your control. Emily finally looked up, eyes wide. Mom, stop. But Mom's mask was gone now. Her voice rose, shrill, venomous. You think this makes you powerful? You're nothing without us. You always have been. I stood slowly. The chair scraped against polished wood, and the sound sliced through her words. I set a thick envelope on the table. Every eye followed it. This, I said evenly, is the official transfer. The estate. The accounts. The company shares. All under my name. Mom reached for it. I pulled it back. Her eyes burned with desperation. You don't deserve this, she hissed. I leaned closer. No. You don't deserve me. Her lips parted, but no words came. For once, the great matriarch of the Thompson family had nothing left to say. Emily swallowed hard. Is this really happening? I looked at her. She wasn't my enemy. She was just another victim of Mom's manipulation. But pity wouldn't save her. Yes, I said simply. This is happening. I turned to leave. My footsteps echoed against marble, each one louder than her silence. At the doorway I stopped. Looked back one last time. Family only, I whispered. Remember? You made the rule. And then I walked out. The night air greeted me, sharp and alive. Reporters still lingered outside the gate, cameras flashing. I didn't shy away. I stood taller. For the first time, I wasn't the forgotten daughter. I wasn't the empty chair. I wasn't the disgrace. I was the Thompson heir. And I had chosen myself. As I stepped into the waiting car, I realized something. Revenge wasn't just sweet. It was freedom. The driver asked, "Where to?" I smiled, looking at the horizon. "Anywhere," I said. "Anywhere that isn't behind me." And just like that, I closed the chapter. Clean. Final. Mine.